0 Ard. Before the 25 Dutch Grand Prix race, there was big drama happening at Ferrari's main office. The team boss Fred Vasseur gave Lewis Hamilton a serious warning about how he talks to reporters. Everyone paid attention to this warning because it happened when Ferrari was having trouble winning races this season. 0-19. Is this warning a sign that Ferrari is in big trouble? Let's talk about it. So far, the 2025 Formula One season has been disappointing for Ferrari. The SF25 car, which everyone thought would be amazing at beating Red Bull and McLaren, has been doing badly instead. After 14 races, Ferrari is the only top team that still hasn't won a big race. 0-45. This has made everyone on the team feel really sad, and the fans are getting more and more upset. Lewis Hamilton, the driver who has won 7 world championships and who Ferrari hired with lots of excitement to help them win again, still can't figure out how to drive the SF25 car well, even though he won the Chinese Grand Prix sprint race really well. His driving in the main races has often been disappointing. 109. Some Formula One experts think the main problem isn't that Hamilton is slow, but that he can't get used to these new types of cars. Hamilton is still trying to find a way of driving that works with the tricky back part of the SF25 car. "Nobody thinks Lewis isn't talented," said someone who talks about racing on Sky Sports. "But the problem is that he can't use all his experience to drive this weird car well." 135. Ferrari really needs him to be a leader when the rules change in 2026. The situation at Ferrari is getting even more complicated because Lewis Hamilton now has to deal with his teammate Charles Leclerc getting more attention. The driver from Monaco has been doing better this season, finishing in the top 3 several times, and even getting the best starting position in Hungary. Which made everyone notice him again. 201. This comparison is clearly bothering Hamilton. Think about it. A world champion with a big ego definitely isn't used to being second best on a team. Every time cameras take pictures of Leclerc, it reminds Hamilton that he hasn't shown his best driving in the red car yet. Fred Vasseur tried hard to calm down the fighting inside the team. He had to make everyone feel better. 221. In Hungary, he finished the qualifying session just a tiny bit slower than Charles. Then Charles got the best starting position. It wasn't something to get super upset about. A tiny difference can change everything. But the facts on the scorecard still told the real story. In the points standings, Leclerc was way ahead of Hamilton. The points gap only made more pressure on the legend. 242. In a special interview with Auto Motorsport magazine, Ferrari team boss Fred Vasseur said something surprising about Lewis Hamilton's attitude. He said that Hamilton's reactions to reporters could make the team's situation worse, which is already under huge pressure. It only makes things worse. 302. Vasseur said Lewis is very hard on himself. Sometimes he's too mean, not only about the car, but about himself, too. He reacts in extreme ways, especially when talking to reporters. Once the team meeting started, though, he calmed down and became more reasonable. That's just how he shows his feelings. But Vasseur also talked about the good things about Hamilton's way of talking. 326. He added that what people see in public sometimes is different from what really happens behind closed doors. He said that his friendship with Hamilton is still strong, even though some of the 7-time world champion's comments get a lot of attention. "For me, it's not a big deal. Lewis always wants a lot, both from himself and from the team." 346. I can understand that, and I respect how determined he is. But I don't want his public comments to make the atmosphere inside the team even more tense, Vasseur added, showing that good communication inside the team is important for Ferrari to get out of this tough time. After hearing the comments and warnings from Ferrari boss Fred Vasseur, Lewis Hamilton finally spoke up. 408. The 7-time world champion shared his thoughts in a calm but strong voice, showing that he stays steady even when people criticize him. "I understand what Fred is saying. Ferrari is a huge team with incredible expectations, and I know everyone feels the pressure. Of course, after a race, I always want to be honest about how I feel about the car. 432. Sometimes my words sound mean, but that doesn't mean I don't believe in the team. Hamilton added that he always tries to be honest because he believes that telling the truth is really important for building a good relationship between a driver and a team. And I speak honestly, not to put anyone down, but to encourage all of us to get better. The pressure I feel is just as big as the pressure on the engineers, mechanics, and the entire Ferrari crew. 456. We're all in the same situation. Ferrari is now at a really important moment. The team still has big hopes for Hamilton's experience and technical knowledge to help develop the 2026 car in a new time with completely different technical rules. Hamilton being there is seen as really important because very few drivers have his deep technical understanding. 5:19. But the voices of disappointed fans are getting louder in every part of the stadium, especially when Hamilton finishes outside the top three. Again, this is very different from the high hopes when he was announced at Ferrari. The Italian newspapers aren't staying quiet either. Several newspapers are starting to ask a challenge in. Question. 540. Did Ferrari make a terrible mistake by signing Hamilton? In its latest newspaper, La Gazzetta dello Sport wrote, Ferrari brought in a legend, but what they got instead was fighting inside the team. Leclerc is doing great while Hamilton seems more and more sad. The attention shows the growing split between two groups. The excited fans who are starting to have doubts, and the team's inside confidence, which still believes in the long-term plan. 8. The 2025 Dutch Grand Prix is more than just another race for Hamilton. A 7-time world champion who must prove he deserves to be the center of attention at Ferrari. Before the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort, Ferrari faces a huge challenge that could decide how their season goes. This famous seaside racetrack is known for its technical layout, which is full of steep corners that need perfect aerodynamic balance and car stability, especially in the fast parts that often decide lap times. 6:38. Red Bull with Max is expected to dominate in front of the Dutch crowd once again, while McLaren, with Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri's steady performances, remains a real threat every race weekend. For Ferrari, Zandvoort is more than just a race. It could be a turning point, or make their ongoing crisis even worse. Hamilton needs a good result to quiet the growing criticism, and Leclerc is determined to keep his impressive streak going. 7:03. After several top three finishes, this internal rivalry adds another layer of drama with both drivers having different but equally important missions for the team's future. If Ferrari fails to stay competitive, the pressure on Fred Vasseur will be enormous. 7:24. At Ferrari headquarters, there are growing whispers about the possibility of big changes at the management and technical levels if the 2025 season ends without a single victory. The Dutch Grand Prix is more than just a race. It's a crucial test for Ferrari to prove they're worthy title fighters and not stuck in the shadow of failure. 7:43. Fred Vasseur's serious warning to Hamilton is more than just casual inside criticism. It's a sign that Ferrari's patience is running out. Hamilton was brought in to be the new leader. Yet Leclerc has carried most of the team's weight so far. Can Hamilton bounce back at the Dutch Grand Prix and prove Ferrari was right about him? Or will this inside drama lead to a deeper split at Ferrari? Share your thoughts below.